guys, welcome back to another episode of the Laces Out podcast, and this is week 7. How's it going? We got actually the full crew here. We don't have the face cams because we got J-Bunk on the road, Waterboy. We still haven't done a face reveal with Waterboy yet, but eventually, in due time. But how's everything going, guys?
What's up, man?
Good.
Oh, I'm just excited to be back. Been missing a few weeks vacation, taking some time off. So glad to be back. Hey, my team's been taking a lot of time off according to my records. So we're hoping we're back and ready to roll again. Good to be here.
They started taking vacation, week 1, man. You're like, hey, let me catch up. Third way through the season, you said, let me hit the Dominican, which is awesome. Glad you're back. Glad you had a good time. And ready to talk some more fantasy football. I mean, I guess let's just talk a little bit about week 6. Anybody, any team spark your interest in week 6? Somebody take it away.
2 words: Derrick Henry. We talked about it before we came in, and he's just a beast, man. I thought Buffalo was an easy win against Tennessee. They've looked like the best team in the AFC, knocking off the Chiefs, just rolling in their games. And Derrick Henry single-handedly beat them. I mean, that's all there is to say about that. I mean,
one-man army.
The man's a beast.
Yeah, 5 in a row with 100 yards. I think 2 in a row with 3 touchdowns. He's pretty much slaughterhouse style. There's no stopping him.
I mean, where does he rank in you guys' opinion, like fantasy football players, like all time?
He's up there. I mean,
he's approaching some of that all time. Them like 06, 07 years with Mr. Tomlinson out there.
What about Adrian James kind of territory? Like,
didn't they have Chris Johnson as well? Didn't he have a real breakout season?
Yes, sir. He did. My boy JC from KC. A few years ago, he had one stellar year.
Jamal Charles, yep.
So yeah, he go back 2,000 yards.
He might, bro. I won't bet against it. They're handing the ball off to him when they're down. Like, it doesn't affect what they're doing, like, at all. And I've never seen a team like the Tennessee Titans. I mean, he is a freak. I mean, he's a freak of nature. The dude is bigger than linebackers. And he's just trucking ahead. So, I mean, why not give, the biggest guy on the field the ball? And not just that, because, of course, he's big. Of course, he's strong. Did you see that he had the fastest run so far out of the first 6 weeks in the NFL, the fastest run time in one of his breakaway touchdowns? I mean, he can do it all. And I remember me and Bunk were complaining on Madden how Derrick Henry's a cheat code because he's big, he can truck, he can stiff arm. And then they made him a 92 speed, which is unreal, like really fast. I think they put him up there with Christian McCaffrey, who's a 92 speed. And me and Bunk were like, I don't know about that. But after watching last week, I think they got it right, Bunk.
Yep, no doubt about that. It's not even fair to be that fast and that big. That is unbelievable.
Yeah, he does it. Do you think the outlook will change this week? I mean, he had the big game, punched in a couple touchdowns here, but his big lineman Taylor Lewan went down.
Yeah.
He kind of regressed a little bit in the second half. I mean, he's still a stud, but
yeah, and you gotta remember,
maybe we're going to see some of the lower touchdown games, but he's a beast inside the 10 for sure.
Yeah, and you got to remember who they're also were playing. They're playing the Bills, man. They're just a great defense, and like Bunk said earlier, he just single-handedly just took them behind the woodshed, and that was it. It was a one-man show. Obviously, Josh Allen still does his thing, but still. Derrick Henry, unreal. One game I also want to piggyback on from last week that we talked about was the Chargers in Baltimore. That game went on, and the results were shocking, I think, to a lot of people, seeing how well the Chargers played in the first 5 weeks. Going into week 6, you thought it was going to be a shootout, and Baltimore just handled business as they beat the Chargers 34-6 That shocked me, man. Baltimore, that's a contender.
Yes, sir. And maybe for the naysayers against Mr. Lamar, I mean, he pretty much showed them how it was done last week.
Yeah, and he's done that also on that one Monday night performance. So it's not, he's not a one-hit wonder. He's a quarterback who can get it done each and every week, and it's just he's looking good each and every week as well, with really not even a running back. He's their guy. I mean, they don't even know who their top running back is. Is it Freeman? Is it I'm drawing a blank, Murray?
So, Murray's out this week. It'll be Bell. It could be
Bell.
Williams. Yeah, last week the touches were 9, 9, and 8 for the running backs. I mean, so you got to find a three-sided coin to find out the answer on that one.
Well, anything else you want to talk on week 6? And we'll just jump on to week 7. And I know we have some games to talk about on that, but anything else on week 6?
Man, let me hit the Cardinals and the Browns. That was the Browns. They looked, I'm gonna say, good last night, but they were playing the Broncos. Started out 3-0. Now they've lost 3 in a row. I was just shocked that the Browns, home game, 5-0 team coming in. You thought they'd have had a little more heartbeat in them. I was disappointed in that game, especially no coach, no offensive coordinator, and just the Cardinals took them to the dog pound, made them look like dog shit.
Yeah, they did. I mean,
well said.
I mean, it's Arizona though. I mean, Arizona, that's a squad. They got everybody.
Yeah, definitely a good team. And the Browns, just like they keep fooling us. This is the year they get going, and just had a prime opportunity for a good, momentum building win for them, the organization, the year, Mayfield, a contract year, and
Well, now looking into week 7, that's a good transition because we had Baker Mayfield out this, last night. Case Keenum took charge for the Browns and actually delivered, which, that's the kind of backup you want as a, NFL team, is a guy who's already been there and done it before. He's started before. He's been around. So that's the kind of quarterback you're going to want whenever your, star QB goes down. I don't know if you want to call him a star QB. Let's just say he is. But then the highlight of that game, Ernest Johnson, I mean, and shout out also to the O-line because, I think I could have ran through some of the holes that they opened up for him. But I don't want to take that away from Johnson at all, man. There was a lot of times he got hit and just kept going nonstop. So, shout out to Ernest Johnson on that. Whoever picked him up off of waivers did a good job.
Yeah, he would
definitely. What did he have? 146 yards. I mean,
146.
Yeah, a couple receptions, definitely. I mean, he looked good doing it with. He would run in and kind of be patient and dance around and make some quick little moves. I mean, he looked sharp. He really did. I mean, he's in the NFL for a reason, but he really looked good.
Yeah. And shout out to Hail Marys. I don't know if he's watching this, but he even said it. I love watching these patient running backs, and I said these patient running backs are the ones that you got to watch for because that's whenever they could really do you dirty. Back when Le'Veon Bell was the guy for the Steelers, that is one of the most patient running back I've ever seen. And Johnson was showing that he could be patient at the running back position, which is always a plus. But I know you had your game you wanted to talk about, Waterboy. Who you thinking, man? What game of the week is brought to your attention?
It's going to be, man, my Chiefs and the Titans. It's going to be a heck of a game. I mean, are the Titans going to be let down coming off the big win at home versus Buffalo? Now get another big time AFC contender coming into their house. It's going to be interesting. The 27th ranked run defense. We just was talking about Henry earlier. I mean, is he gonna murder them just himself? Is he gonna have 220 yards and 4 touchdowns? Hell, it's a possibility with what they got going in Kansas City. So we'll see, man. But on the other side, Mahomes, he's been I think he's leading the league in turnovers this year. That's a shocking fact.
Yeah. On top of that, though, I understand that, the Chiefs don't have the best defense when it comes to running, and obviously it's Derrick Henry. He's gonna do work. We don't know how much work, but then you want to talk about Tennessee's pass defense. Not good at all. So I really think the Chiefs could be coming out firing the ball. Mahomes, you already said it. He has the turnovers. I think he's out for a revenge game, man. I think he wants to show that he's still a top candidate at the QB position. Obviously, it's Mahomes. Everyone's gonna say it's Mahomie, but I think the Chiefs come out on top on this one.
Yeah, I'm thinking so. But is Hill gonna play? He's been dealing with the injury all week, so that might shape it up a little bit. But yeah, the Titans secondary is definitely burnable. So
yeah.
Hoping Mahomes, maybe he's seen the Bills falter and he's like, hey, you wanted to be the top of the mountain. I'm going to show you the top of the mountain and just come in there and reverse it on them. But I definitely expect a good game and a high-scoring affair for sure.
And then also you want to talk about the time of possession on that game. How's that going to work? Because if Mahomes is just throwing bombs and, scoring off of that, I feel like Tennessee is just going to do, like we said, ground and pound. But I think they're gonna have the, more time with the ball.
I could see that. Definitely. I mean, they definitely are gonna have the advantage with Mr. Henry on the field, but maybe they'll play it smart and get Williams involved and try to chew it up instead of just dropping the bombs. Maybe that's part of their problem. The defense is not good, but they're usually low in time of possession, so maybe reassess a game plan here.
Yeah, and even another key factor is Tannehill. Tannehill has not been playing well this season at all. So I kind of want to see if he gets involved a little bit better. We'll see. But right now, he's one of those guys, if maybe I will be starting if you're starting QBs on a bye. I like him a little bit more than some of the guys you can pick up off of waivers. I like him better than Tua. I like him better than Matt Ryan this week. But that's about it, man. That's kind of where he stands when it comes to starting, in fantasy.
Yeah, I could agree to that. I mean, that's probably accurate. I think he'll be a good team, and they're I think the Chiefs they're almost giving up dang near the top the most points fantasy wise to quarterbacks. So Tannehill should be blowing it out. Is Mr. Julio going to be there? He's been hampered by injury, so
his hamstring.
Still, I'm expecting a great game, man. Hopefully, Chiefs Kingdom comes out on top.
Yeah, I picked you guys, so I hope you guys do as well. I mean, it's just a lot of negative comments I've heard about the Chiefs here in the last few weeks, and I feel like Mahomes is getting tired of that. So, I think they're going to come out firing, but Tennessee definitely looked good, and now they go and play at home against a great team, so they might be fired up. So I'm excited to see that game as well. I think that's one of those games to highlight and watch 1 o'clock Sunday if you're on the Eastern time zone. But Bunk, do you have a certain game that you want to highlight and talk about?
Yes, sir. I got my eyes on the Cincinnati-Baltimore game. I think that is a top AFC game, division game. Fantasy-wise, you're looking at Lamar Jackson. Can he stay hot? Can he keep rolling? Jamar Chase on the Cincinnati side. Does he continue to get the bulk of the targets over T. Higgins? Does he continue to be Burrow's favorite target and continue to be a wide receiver one? I think he does, but Baltimore's got a tough defense. We saw that against the Chargers, who obviously have a lot better offense than the Cincinnati Bengals.
Yep.
But I think it's just going to be a great game. I'm excited to see the outcome. Cincinnati is definitely on the rise with all their young talent. Burrow at the helm. And the coach seems to have turned things around there, and they finally got some talent. Joe Mixon's playing like Joe Mixon should have played all along, and we'll see. Is Baltimore for real? They've beaten the teams that they probably weren't supposed to beat in Kansas City and the Chargers. Can they beat the team that they're supposed to beat in Cincinnati? So we'll see.
Yeah, I like Baltimore, but I do think Cincinnati plays these kind of, like you said, it's a division game, and anything can go in division games, and the Bengals are just a tough team. I mean, that's one of those teams that you play, and it's a toss-up because they play teams hard. So Burrow's been playing well this season. Jamar Chase, just that combo. But the thing, what I think about of this game is I think in Baltimore, you got Marlon Humphreys. He's going to take away Jamar Chase. He's been taking away the number one receiver all season, and I see him doing it again in that game with Jamar Chase. So now it comes down to Burrow. Are we going to see a lot of Joe Mixon work because of that? Or also, are we going to see someone like Higgins come by? You got Tyler Boyd as well. I think Tyler Boyd's one of those guys that, he's there, but I actually see possibly if the Bengals are going to keep up, I think Higgins has a decent game, and Chase possibly might be one of my bust picks coming up here very soon. But yeah, man, I think that's a good game. Anything to add on top of that, Waterboy?
Yeah, I'm gonna say, man, I don't know. It's gonna be up to Burrow and the receivers this week. I seen something the other day, Mixon, and he's played the Ravens 7-8 games, I believe, in his career, and averages under 60 yards a game. I think they're gonna have his number this week, and it's gonna be, Burrow's gonna make sure he's the number one pick, and I see the Bengals upsetting the Ravens this week. I think this is like Mr. Bunk said. They win the games you think they don't think, and the ones you think they're gonna lose, and it's gonna be, maybe is Mr. Jackson up to the big games, even though he's proved it with the Chiefs and the Chargers in back-to-back weeks. Is he out of gas a little bit? And I'm going to think the Bengals are going to take it to the house this week on Mr. Burrow, and I'm going to go with Mr. Boyd is going to be the star of the show.
Okay. All right. Well,
don't talk me into putting him in my flex now. Come on now.
He's sitting on that bench right now, ready to hop in on Jay Bunk's lineup. For those guys who are watching, guys, I know we had about 4 or 5 viewers here at a time. If you guys want to drop your questions down in the comments, we'll be glad to answer that later in the show. So drop them down, and we will answer them a little bit later in the show. But my pick, I mean, we haven't been talking about the Panthers enough in this episode, and I got to get my Panther talk in. So let's go Panthers at Giants. The Panthers, I went to that game last week, very upset. I had a great time all the way till the fourth quarter, and, they went to overtime. Couldn't get it done in overtime. Darnold, at the very beginning, throws a pick on the very first pass of the game. As soon as that happened, I said, oh boy. So, but they picked it up. They got in the game, started playing well, and then toward the end slipped away. It happens, man. But the Vikings definitely just ran all over the Panthers. And also Thielen was the guy over there. But let's talk about Mr. Sam Darnold. I think he is going to have a little comeback game against the Giants, Because the Giants aren't good. They aren't. There's no one on that team really to highlight. You got Barkley, who is out, so we're going to be seeing the backup there. And the Carolina defense just added Stephon Gilmore, and he will be starting this week. So as far as I know, they said, Matt Rule hopes that he will be playing. I assume he's going to be playing. He's active. So what I think what's going to happen in this game, the Panthers, they said they wanted to run the ball more. You'll see Chuba Hubbard get the ball a little bit more often. But also, DJ Moore, watch out for him. I think he's going to have a decent game. I think he is, because he only has had one game under 10 targets. And so Sam Darnold loves DJ Moore. He loves to throw to him. When Sam Darnold throws to Robbie Anderson, he either drops the ball in his hands or something. They're just not connecting this season. So I don't know. I mean, I still see them continuing to throw him the ball, just not as much. So we'll see if he comes down with the ball or not. But I think DJ Moore and Chuba Hubbard is the play on that game. But anything that you guys want to talk about on the Panther Giants?
Man, not really. I'm not a Panthers fan, but I could see them losing again. I'm not a believer in Darnold.
Come on, man.
They started off 3-0. I lost my bet. They're showing their colors now, and they just beat. They beat up on the Jets, and I don't know how they beat the Saints like they did. I'm still confused at the house over here. I just don't believe in them that much, man. I think, and Hubbard's a good player. And even with Barkley out, I can still see the Giants winning it out. And maybe, who's going to be catching the ball from Jones? Who's playing? There's still so many injuries on that side for the receivers. So
I'll answer that. It'll be Stephon Gilmore.
Okay.
He's going to be catching the ball from Daniel Jones. I will say, though, I think Booker might have a decent game. If you look at the stats, ever since Shaq hasn't been playing, Shaq will be out again here this weekend. So Shaq Thompson is huge for us for stopping the run. Obviously, our defense has gotten better with some of the pickups, but not having him could be a little bit difficult to stopping the run. So I do see them having a decent game on the run, but I don't see him getting in the end zone much. Their passing has just been god-awful. So we'll see if the Panthers defense can, help. The offensive line has just sucked this year. They haven't got, I do blame Darnold on some of the interceptions, but a lot of times they're just not setting them up right. So, we need to get him some more time. And I think good things will happen this weekend. But we'll see. Waterboy's not counting on the Panthers. He's lost faith in our Carolina Panthers. I don't think he ever had faith. And maybe after the 3-0 he did.
Hey, wait. They're going to reel off 4. I should have went with 3. I got aggressive. So we'll see. They're going to end up 3-4. Now, I'm going to have a little bit of solace in it because they're still not that good. And Darnold, I'm still convinced. Is Darnold the problem or Rule? I'm really not sure of that yet. I'm still debating on that over here. I think they belong together. He's another Adam Gase.
Oh, come on. That is throwing real shade.
I just threw that out there for fun.
Damn. Adam Gase?
I'm messing. He's better than that. I was fooling around. I just wanted. That was a little Friday.
You wanted to
fun,
see
guys.
my reaction. That's what it was.
See if I got cut off. I'm not invited back.
Yeah, he gets kicked from the Discord.
You got the Gase bug eyes on that one.
Oh man.
Jeez Louise.
I will say Robbie Anderson, he could follow Adam Gase out the door right now. Dude, he has not done anything. But we'll move along to the boom and bust of this week. Let's see. Now, I will say, if you guys could also type your questions in again, it disappeared for me. I know we had Warrior on here and also King Chris on here. So, guys, if you don't mind to retype your questions, and we'll get to that here soon. But boom or bust of the week. Let me show you guys the record first. Myself's 5-7. J-Bunk got a win. 1-11. Ayo. Man, congratulations, Mr. Juan. As we have Waterboy 2-6, and Hex is actually making a comeback for the number 2 spot. He's in the number 2 spot now with 4-6. As me and Hex both got our picks right on the Boomer Bust last week. Let's see if we can continue to do that this week, as we're gonna get rid of that record for you, Bunk, so we, you don't get too embarrassed on that. So I'm gonna make that disappear real quick for you. So let's hear the booms, guys. Bunk, let's hear your boom of this week.
Sí, me llamo es Juan. My boom for this week is Mr. Marquez Callaway of the New Orleans Saints going up against the Seattle Seahawks, one of the worst secondaries in the league. Michael Thomas is still not back and probably won't be back this season. So Marquez gives Jameis the big body receiver. And they had a bye this past week, but the week before he put up 22. Looked awesome. And so I expect another big game from him. He's only projected 8.6, so that seems like a pretty easy number for me. And then my bust, Mr. Josh Jacobs. The Raiders, I don't think they quite know who they are. Apparently they're coachless now. So I don't know. I don't think they know what to do on offense. They're going up against Philly, who tends to have a tough run defense. Fletcher Cox in the middle, holding it down. So I don't see Josh Jacobs doing a whole lot. He hasn't done a whole lot all season, honestly, and going up against a tough rush defense, I don't see it happening. He's projected, I think 15.
Okay.
And so that just, to get that, he's got to put up a good amount of yards and a touchdown, and I could not see it happening. So that's what I got.
All right. Well, I only asked for your boom, but I appreciate your bust as well. Oh man. Let me go back to the boom, though. You had Callaway. I do like that pick. 8.6. They're not giving them enough on that. I think that's kind of lowballing for the
I do apologize for skipping ahead. After getting a win this past week, I got excited.
You're feeling good, man. I like it. No, that's okay. That's okay. But Waterboy, boom.
Boom only. Boom only here.
Boom only. Yeah.
I'm going to go
we'll
with,
go back and forth.
Man.
We'll let Bunk sit there.
Yeah, we'll let him. Well, yeah. You sit time out, sir.
I'm just here so I don't get fined.
I'm going with Stafford versus his old team. He's I think he's projected 22, just a little over 22 here. So I could see him just doing work against his former team, just to kind of show him, like, hey, you got Mr. Goff now. Look at me now. So he's going to blow it out of the water. I'm going to guess. I can maybe even get crazy and say he's going to have 4 touchdowns with just a complete blow-up style boom. He's gonna put it on them. Maybe the yards might not be there, but I could see 3+ touchdowns easy.
I completely agree. I think Stafford's going to go off. I think I know we had a question about Cooper Kupp by King Chris. He asked, does Cooper Kupp keep up the hot streak, or do you see him slowing down soon? I think he keeps up the hot streak because of Stafford. They're going to connect like always, especially against his old team. I do see. I completely agree with you on that take, because he might not get the yards because they're just going to hand the ball off a lot too as well. Darrell Henderson's going to do work as well. The Lions have one of the worst run stops in the league, so look for the run a lot, but also they're not going to let Stafford not throw the ball. So see him connecting with Kupp a lot. I will say Woods might not be the play because of the game script. I kind of wish I might change my bust to him, because it kind of looks like it's just going to be a Cooper Kupp show and and a Henderson show. Thanks just because the Lions suck. I hate to say it, Gil, if you're watching this, Cross, I mean, you guys know. They suck. So, yeah, I agree with that boom. I'll let you know my boom. I'm going with Darnell Mooney. He's projected 9.8 in our league. And, I see him getting, he's just getting all the looks by Justin Fields. They're going up against Tampa. Tampa obviously can stop the run, so I don't think they're going to run against them. And especially during the game, Tampa's probably going to take the lead by a lot. So Chicago's going to be playing while they're down. What do you do when you're down? Unless you're the Tennessee Titans, that's right, you throw the ball. And you throw the ball to Darnell Mooney because that's your guy. Allen Robinson, who's he? I think honestly Darnell Mooney is going to be the guy this week for the Chicago Bears. Today just got off of the questionable. He is now active for sure going again in Sunday. So I'm looking for Darnell Mooney to be popping off. So put him in your lineups, unlike what I did where I started OBJ of last night because I said, hey, they don't have anyone else. Let's see Case Keenum actually throw the ball, see some OBJ action. He got 2 catches. So, not the best moves here on one of my leagues, but I will probably throw him in a FanDuel lineup. So, stay tuned for that. But anyway, going into the busts, even though we know Bunk's bust, he was saying that Josh Jacobs, he's crap. So, I agree. Josh Jacobs is crap. No, it comes down to it. I mean, they just don't know what to do with him. So, yeah, I mean, Bunk said why Jacobs is a bust. I agree. His projection's 15, which is outrageous. They're basically banking on him to score a touchdown. So, I don't know about it. But, Waterboy, bust for this week.
Bust, man. Going back to a little revenge thing here. Maybe I got revenge on my mind this week. I'm taking things to the woodshed with a waiver wire lineup. DJ Moore going against his old teammate, Mr. Badberry, and I already said I think the Giants are going to win. I could see he's projected 14-6, so I just don't see it happen. I think he's going to just shut him down, and he'll still do all right, but no touchdowns. No touchdowns is going to be the key.
I just see, I don't think he's going to boom. That's the one thing that I will agree with you on. I don't think he's going to bust. I don't think he's going to boom. I think he's going to be in the middle somewhere just because of how many targets he gets per game. But, I mean, he might be right.
He's going to scrape by with 70 yards, a touchdown, what he's going to get 6 or 8 catches and push him over the edge, but nothing to really excite you about.
If he does bust or, considered not, just not get up to, that standard, what is he at, 15 or 14.6? Yeah, let's just say 15. If he doesn't get up to that, then look out for Robbie Anderson. I know I threw shade at him, but that's just because he was dropping balls for my team. But, I mean, if they're not throwing to DJ Moore, Robbie's going to be getting some action. And, the Giants suck. But Bradbury, if he's covering DJ Moore, he's a great corner. And, yeah, we'll see who was actually better in practice when they were going up against each other. I guess we'll get to see who was actually winning those one-on-ones in the past whenever they played together.
Yes, sir. Who are you looking at busting?
My bust, well, I wanted to say Jamar Chase. I want to switch it back to Woods after just talking a little bit about the Rams, but I'm going to keep it. It always messes up when you switch things, just like that OBJ crap that I was talking about. Switched them last minute, screwed me. Jamar Chase, he's projected 13.7. Like I said, we talked about this earlier, the Baltimore game. Baltimore is a really good Marlon Humphreys, he takes away their number one. That's going to be Jamar Chase. I think it's going to be a tough time for Burrow, but unless Burrow can find Higgins or Tyler Boyd. So I think Jamar Chase is not going to be there, especially not getting 13.7 unless some busted coverage happens. But I don't see that happening with Marlon Humphreys, shadowing him. So, yeah, that's my bust of the week. And there's one question that we didn't get to answer yet, so I want to answer it before we run out of time because we are at 35 minutes. So we got a question saying, will Aaron Rodgers go off? My answer is absolutely. Did you not see him going up against the Bears? He even said he owns this place. He owns part of Soldier Field. So, he's a shareholder is what Tom Brady said, of the Bears. And man, he's feeling it, man. Aaron Rodgers. The one thing that I will see if somehow Rodgers doesn't go off, that's probably just because Aaron Jones goes off. But I do see Aaron Rodgers throwing a bunch all over the Washington Redskins, or almost said Washington Redskins. My bad. Washington football team.
You're about to be thrown off
Woo!
the darn.
Man, I just
everywhere.
listened to a podcast a couple days ago, and this guy kept saying kept saying the Redskins in it, and the guy the other co-host was like, "Shut up!" So
it's the Redskins. It's the Redskins.
I mean,
it's what it is.
It's history.
It's the Cleveland Indians. It's what you are. We can go down that rabbit hole, but we'll have to stop.
No, but all in all, I think he's going to do good. What do you think?
Yeah, I could see it. Definitely going off the Washington football team. They're not as hot as I thought they would be, as in the sense I did draft their defense thinking they were gonna be a whole lot better, and that's been a letdown for that's been a letdown for me, and I think everyone else. I mean,
yep,
they've been a rough patch there, but maybe I don't want to say going off because I don't see Washington scoring a bunch of points. So maybe a good game, but not a 350 plus yard, 3 touchdown game. I don't see that from Rodgers. I don't even see 3 touchdowns.
Really?
No.
I see 3
they're not gonna
touchdowns
need it.
in the first half.
Sir?
I said I see 3 touchdowns in the first half.
Okay.
Because I mean, you got Adams. Him and Adams, I think, are going to connect once or twice. A guy who hasn't been really brought up at all. We really haven't talked about. And also, I think Jones is going to get in once at least. But another guy who I want to throw on as I know you had a little secondary boom. I had a ton of secondary booms. I think Miles Sanders is a good guy too, but that's besides the point. Robert Tonyan. I think he is due, man. And you've seen him in the past. Last season, him and Rodgers were connecting. I might see him getting in the end zone this week.
I can see it. Not gonna disagree with it. I mean,
I'm not starting him.
No. Oh, you're starting him.
No. I'm not gonna start him. I'm not gonna start.
Washington somewhere around they're middle of the road, 18th against tight ends. So I mean, it's plausible he drops one in there. Yeah,
I mean, Rodgers slings the ball, and like I said, it could be an Aaron Jones kind of day, but I think Aaron Rodgers, it's not going to slow him down going up against the Washington football team, and like we all thought that they were going to have a decent defense. Not this year.
Not this year.
But Bunk, anything you want to say before we sign off of Week 7?
No. All
right. All right. Well, what about you, Waterboy? Anything you want to let the audience know?
Man, no, I'm just kidding. You
guys.
To the 0-6 teams of the world, in the 1-5s and the 2-4s, start swinging the sticks and shoot for long shots to see if you can get back in it and hope for the best. But man, at this point in the season, no matter if you're bad or good, don't give up. Just keep trying something. True. Don't forget to not set your lineups and leave 11 players that are injured. Do something. Try to at least stay somewhat competitive the best you can. That's all I say. And hey, just be proud to be American.
I will
Right.
say
Hey,
good trade to the Water Boys.
that's
We
what I was
made a
about to
trade
say.
this
Is
week.
Bunk and Waterboy made a trade in our league, and Waterboy, like he said, his back was against the wall. He was 0-5, 0-6 or whatever, and made a trade. He's trying to get back in it. So like you said, he's still fighting. You're still fighting. I love it. So if you guys are also not the best records, look at your team and see, and maybe you might not be someone who trades a lot. But that's okay. Look around, see what you can possibly get. Let people know, hey, this guy might be on the trade block. Could be your best player, but you could turn your best player, someone like Kamara, into a Daryl Henderson, and Calvin Ridley, like I did a couple weeks ago. So it's like, if you need more depth, get your stud and get more depth. And also, if you have too much depth, then go ahead and get some studs on your team. So you got to look and see what you have and see how you are losing the games. If you're playing well and you're doing well and you're just playing the wrong people and they're just going off, keep going. Don't really change much, because once you start messing around with some trades, you could dig yourself in a hole. So anyway, I think that's it for week 7, guys. I appreciate everyone. Good luck in week 7, everyone, but whoever I'm playing. Jason Griffin, I'm sorry, but go screw yourself this week. But good luck next week. We'll see you guys later at the Laces Out podcast for week 8. Good luck, everybody. Peace out.
Peace.